I like a fight with Loma. I think Loma is someone who the world will give me my credit, my just due for. Tank Davis fight, and those are the two names that's on my hit list for sure. Still, haven't changed. I still want to fight the Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, like them like the two like at the top of my list. Cause I just feel like them the ones that I get the most credit for. But I'm not ducking or dodging nobody. Still, even though I'm the top dog now. I'm still hunting. I'm still on the battlefield.
Damn.
Breaking news, according to ESPN, Vasyl Lomachenko would like to return as soon as October, says top-ranked president Todd DeBuff, which is great news. Vasyl Lomachenko is finally back from the Ukrainian war, and he's making his return on the same month that the Undisputed Dream is making his return to defend his undisputed title. Devin Haney posted on Twitter, October. And one thing we do know, when the Devin Haney versus George Kambosos fight got announced, Vasyl Lomachenko made it very clear, where he stated, quote, "I'm next." End of the quote. Well, the time is now. Hopefully Vasyl Lomachenko is a man of his word, because Devin Haney already put Vasyl Lomachenko on notice, along with Gervonta Davis, since they both his mandatories. Therefore, there is no excuses to be made, since both Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko fight on ESPN. In addition to that, to make one thing clear, George Kambosos' rematch clause is not going to be an issue because Devin Haney has terms in the contract that allows him to fight his mandatories and pay George Kambosos step-aside money, which is why George Kambosos, right after Devin Haney beat him to become the first undisputed champion in the Four Belts era, we heard George Kambosos say, I hope that Devin Haney is a man of his word, where he will honor the rematch clause. I gave you a shot, so give me mine." It was very telling when Kambosos said, "I hope," because if you have a rematch clause that's binding, then you don't have to hope. But the reason why Kambosos said, "I hope," is clearly because Devin Haney has terms in the contract that allows him to fight his mandatories if they do raise their hands and activate their mandatory position. So if Vasyl Lomachenko is sincere about fighting Devin Haney, he will do exactly that, since so far, Devin Haney is the first undisputed champion of all time that's in one of the deepest divisions and has no mandatories lined up to fight him, which is unheard of that Devin Haney is still the A-class boogeyman in the sport of boxing, even after becoming undisputed. Furthermore, the million-dollar question, will Vasyl Lomachenko now be willing to fight Devin Haney, since he is undisputed? Because back in the day in 2019, back when ESPN was erasing Lomachenko losses, that's when Devin Haney put fear in Lomachenko's heart and took his lunch money, aka his WBC belt. For the people that's not informed, Vasyl Lomachenko was forced to fight his mandatory Devin Haney in 2019 after he won the vacant WBC title against Luke Campbell. So he had an obligation to fight his mandatory Devin Haney within 6 months. However, Vasyl Lomachenko ended up turning down the Devin Haney fight and was stripped of the WBC belt. But because Lomachenko has the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection, the WBC tried to save face for him by awarding him the NBF Witness Protection franchise. Therefore, Lomachenko has a job to do, and that's save face for ducking Devin Haney by making it up, fighting him now, at the very least for undisputed. If that won't do it, nothing will. Loma will then go down as a legendary duck, since the same man he ducked when he was his mandatory in Devin Haney is now the first undisputed champion in the Four Belts era and the last undisputed champion since Pernell Whitaker, which is something that haven't been done for over 30 years. And ironically, that was Vasyl Lomachenko's dream, to become undisputed, only for Devin Haney to be the one to achieve the undisputed dream. Devin Haney is living Lomachenko's dream. But the good news is, if Lomachenko honors his word and fights Devin Haney next, he can put himself in position to make his dream become a reality. With the facts being laid out, we shall see what Lomachenko decides to do next. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.
Youngest undisputed champion in boxing history, man. I'm talking about the WBC, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, the ringside belt,
Ring magazine belt,
the ring magazine belt, the franchise belt, and the email.
and the email. I'm so happy you added that email in there.
Yeah, he done shit ain't nobody done. All these, oh, you ain't no real champ. They emailed the belt. Yeah, because I was gonna email ass whipping with whoever got in there with me. I mean, they emailed me about why? Because Lomachenko said, I ain't fighting that. Too long, too strong, too fast, and the work is too good. But now, you got all the belts now. Ain't it funny how don't want to fight you, and then you get all the belts, and now want to fight you.
It's crazy. It's crazy how tables turn, right?
Tables turn. Yeah.
Loma was the franchise champion. That's a way that the WBC has of stripping a guy without really stripping him. But then the regular champion is considered a notch below the franchise champion. But you say because you have that belt, you're disputing his Tails' claim to the title?
No, the franchise title is a way to duck your mandatory. I have mandatories. I'm the WBC champion, and I have mandatories. When I was his mandatory, he petitioned to become a franchise champion to where he didn't have any mandatories. Devin Haney has mandatories. The franchise title is for ducks.
A franchise champion means you didn't have to fight your mandatory. That's a duck. So Devin collects the belt because what else is he supposed to do?
So when you say, you can't say Teofimo has all the belts or Teofimo's undisputed or Teofimo is the champion in the lightweight division because there's still one more belt. He has a franchise title. I'm the WBC world champion.
Do you believe at 20 years old you're ready for that type of challenge?
I think you said his name wrong. It's Lomachenko because he doesn't want to fight me. But it's I feel like I'm ready for the fight. This is the WBC mandatory. So Lomachenko, come on, man, let's get this fight going.
A lot of guys have said they want Lomachenko. You're the next on that list.
Lomachenko.
My mistake.